Saturday, race 2, A fleet.
Okay, Sabot B, Sabot B.
Our goals for this race was to start better.
Course number 4G, windward, offset.
Our other goal was to,
windward, offset,
when we're slow, do a check down.
Here we go.
Stella attack. Tommy looks outstanding. If we're slow, press down or do what's called a check down. We go down until the lured telltale flickers a little, and then we come up from there. It's more of a big fleet, choppy conditions deal. We don't have chop, but we have big fleet. Now, Tommy's in a pickle here. Here's Matt. So all three, Preston is well ahead of these guys. So Preston had the best start of the three. Good idea for Tommy to tack because he was in really bad air. Let her cross, let her cross. Good job, dude. See, if she tacks there, she totally messes you. Okay, come back now. Oh, wow. Preston needs to tack out of there, man. That's like a huge wall of blanket. Tommy, coming back. Don't put up too high, dude. That is a huge lift. Don't go up too high. Now you make people tack. You call starboard on anybody here. And you try to cause chaos. Yep, see that guy's gonna go over and maybe get somebody. Okay, let's see how looking outstanding here. He did not have a good start and he's well ahead of boats on the left. So I think the right's better early. We'll see how he did against Tommy. I think Tommy's actually hooked into, oh, never mind. Preston sails too full, he needs to sheet tighter. Max is in really bad air. Not really bad air, but quite a bit of bad air. So he's got to look for speed right now. Look back over to this side, see where he can get a lane and take it. Oh, tack out right away. Tack, tack, tack. You might have survived that actually. Usually when a boat lee bows you, you're gonna be gone. That was a good tack. Over trimmed at the end of the tack. Do not pump the main in at the end of a Sabot tack. Pumping the main in causes the lee board to stall and jumps the boat sideways. So be careful of pumping the main. Tommy's gonna be coming out from the left. Oh, Max is gonna be right there, 9299. I'd like to see our heads going up to the telltales a little bit more now. If your telltales aren't flying, you're not trying, but they could be flying better right now. You should be adjusting your main sheet and your tiller to get maximum speed out of the boat. If you're looking at the mark, there's a few seconds being lost there. Just caught Max killing right here. I mean, he's got bunches of boats behind him now. He's actually sailing extremely well upwind. He's just got a natural feel. Main sheet was a little too tight through some of the light spots in the start. Race 2 on Saturday, A fleet going downwind. I can see the A fleeters moving from our right to left. Look at the yellow buoy on 9504. You're gonna see the yellow buoy disappear. So what you do in this situation is you crab into the current. You can see 10061 going left to right on the green buoy, right to left, I'm sorry. So this would be an early jibe onto starboard. So 9504 should jibe onto starboard here, I think. Preston should be going lower than this. He should be cutting into the current, more like those leaders are. See how the leaders are holding it lower? So here's Tommy, not really flying very well here. Max, I think, sailed around the outside of a few boats. We'll see how it goes. Here's the C1s. Stella, unfortunately, the boats favored. They did not see the right wind shift here that came down the course. Man, this is a strong C1 fleet. And there's Maddie. You can just barely see her bow through there, just trucking. Just absolutely amazing speed from her lately. She won the all-girls sail jam with just amazing speed, and she is in bad air there, and I can see her squirting through there, so that's great news. There's Stella in there in 1000. So again, just late for the start. We're gonna have to figure out a way to get ourselves. We're gonna go almost over early at 30. We're gonna just get way up there. There you go. He's a little over trim, but sitting on his bottom, right inside the boat. This is the 8 fleeters. Here you go. See how he's sitting forward? Compare this to the earlier ones where we saw Chris's bow going up in the air. See how he's right in the front of there. He's low. Look at his eyes up at his telltales. Here we go. Rolled a little early, I think, for this light air. Not bad. We roll the boat so that we can do that flattening at the end. The flattening at the end is what shifts the wind and allows us to re-accelerate. There's Preston right there, looking good. Okay, so we're gonna change our starting technique. We're gonna be literally right on the line at 30 seconds this time. Even if we're over early, we gotta start figuring out how to get to the line. Everybody's thinking that they can sail when they have boats upwind of them. If you're in bad air at 30 seconds, you are not gonna be on time for the start. There's just no wind. You can't sail if there's no wind. And the wind drops off to about 2 knots in that second or third row. So we're gonna leader of C1 fleet. She looks good. The bang's a little too loose. These boats look good. And Maddie's right in here somewhere. There she is, 9699. And Stella's out there behind her a little ways. So we have not been in our Sabots for about a month and a half. We start our Sabot race squad later in the summer than most programs. And so that's definitely showing at our starting. Our starting is pretty much holding on to the back of the fleet at the start right now. Our starts are in the bottom 10 percentile. I mean, we're really not starting. So we're gonna have to really figure that out. She looks great though, healing a lot. Second race for C1 on Saturday. Everybody's getting swept by the current to this side of the left gate. I don't know if you can see them moving, but as we get out to those buoys, the current is much stronger because it's coming in from the ocean from that channel. But most of the time we're dealing with a current that's going the opposite way from this channel over here. So pretty much the strongest current is going to be at the windward mark because it's a narrow part of the bay, and then also out here at the gates because the water's way deeper out there in the channel. Here we go. Looks like the gates are square. Both boats exiting the gate at about a similar angle. I think my left gate is further upwind by a little, is my guess. We're looking for 9699. Looks like she's gonna come around the left gate on the outside a little, but I think she did a good job. I don't think she had much choice. I think she just had a lot of boats inside of her. And then here comes Stella's 1000 is gonna come around the other end. Yep. First place in A fleet. This is the best sailor. Second place at Nationals 2 years ago. First place at Nationals last year easily. Didn't have to sail the last race. Outhaul ease. Vang is snug but not too tight. Heeling to windward, so his lee board's out of the water. Not too much. You know, he's not heeling too much. This guy's a good sailor. He's got a lot more heel going on. That's okay. Another 8 fleeter. Vang's a little loose, but that's better than too tight. And really healing, good. Max in about 13th, looking outstanding. I don't like to move my lee board downwind too much until I get really good, but right now he could have his lee board up as long as he knows he can get it back to the fast upwind setting. You know, we have settings each day that are a tiny bit different, an 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch different on the lee board. And once we find that spot, we don't want to, that's for upwind, we don't want to lose that spot. So raising the lee board up is risky, but when you get really good and if you have a mark on the lee board, you can get it back to the exact same spot. That just looks outstanding. The Vang is perfect, outhaul's perfect. The T5 has a very flat leading edge, so the front of the sail looks too flat, but there's nothing he can do about that. That sail looks great, his heel looks great. Here's Preston in about 16th, 17th. Sitting forward, very good. Maybe doing a little wheelie, but that looks good actually. Really good trim. We haven't dialed in our Traveler quite yet. I'm still worried that that's costing us a little. It's too loose and up and down, so that causes the boom to need, when it gets light, the boom swings in the middle, and then when he gives a puff, the boom swings out. So it requires a lot of adjustment. But now we're on the Lido Island side. We have to be really careful of getting this close to the dock. You see how glassy this is over here? So we've got to be really careful. Stella looks really, oh, huge lift. This is a good deal. So this is going to get her around the mark, and there's only 1 or 2 boats on that side that can get her. So she's moved up a lot. She's past Maddie. I think Maddie had a little bit of a hard time getting around the windward mark. Now this is a huge lift, right guys? They're making the mark from out here. So Maddie should be going full speed. Then they should come around the offset mark and jibe. Starboard tack lift upwind means port tack lift. Port tack header downwind, which would point us more at the marks. Okay, C1's coming to the finish. And Maddie, we're in bad air on 8727 on starboard, and right as they tacked, you tacked and you got right in bad air again. Stella needs to keep coming a little bit. Oh good, Kate tacked, so Stella was okay, but now the red boat's gonna tack on Stella. If I was Stella, I would have probably gone further, but anyway. Maddie just trucking through there. Can't quite see her. You can see her burgee on her mast. Stella's telltales are good. Big starboard lift here. We need to tack as soon as possible here and get to this end. We got to get to this end. Maddie did it. Let's go, Stella. Oop. Okay, tough C1 fleet. Okay, a little closer that time for Preston. Max a little better, Tommy a little better. Still not a great start, but better starts. We're starting to be a little meaner now about the starts, because we honestly, the first 2 races, we looked like we had never started a race before. Too bad Tommy's having to duck all these guys. Here's Preston, little better start this time. Here's Max, little better start. Still not great, but better. Okay, sitting a little too far back. We can't see, he's doing a little bit of a wheelie, but his sail trim looks great. I would let him cross. I would make the next guy tack. Yeah, the next guy wasn't moving, so see how you're gonna roll him? Good. I'd let the next guy cross and make the next guy tack. Let 9735 cross, but make Anton tack. No, let Anton cross too. Because if Anton tacks on you there, then you have to tack in bad air. It's better to let those boats cross. Now Preston's in bad air. Let's see, last race he sailed in bad air for about 40 seconds. Let's see if he does a better job this time. He is in bad air right now, so he should be tacking out of there. He's got a little lane right inside there, a little bit, but okay, there's Max. Came out of that tack pointing a little too high. Make sure you come out of your tacks off the wind a little bit. You can't come out of the tacks close hauled unless you absolutely nail the tack, and that only happens about 1 out of every 10. Where you turn and the boat just catches the wind and goes right away. But most tacks we have to plan on coming out of the tack a little bit below the wind, barely, to reduce drag. Sitting too far back, but not bad. Little bit of a wheelie. Pretty close. Little too loose on the main sheet. Boom's outside the corner. I keep forgetting to tell him that. The same thing happened the last regatta. Every race I kept saying in the video, too loose on the main, too loose on the main, and then I keep forgetting to tell him. It's better to be too loose on the main in big fleets than too tight, but that's too open on the top. Boom's too far off the corner. See how the boom's outside the corner? That's not fast. Race 3 Saturday. Everybody doing better. There's Preston in about 10th. Good job, brother. Here comes Max and Tommy. Tommy got around clean again. So better start race 3, guys. Good job. We're gonna keep working on it.